Yo, yo, yo. The opening to this stream slash video is going to be the video for today. So you can watch this if you're rewatching on YouTube. Afterwards, I'm going to do Q&A with the audience that's watching live, and we'll go from there. The best way to support the channel is to like the content and watch all the way until the end, or, as long as you stay interested. So if you want to do that, make sure you do that. But we're going to be doing a technical update on AMC after today's rundown, and then bounce and talk about the technical scenarios that we're looking for. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about here is we just want to talk about some key levels that are there for AMC right now, okay? We've talked about for some time now this $17-ish level, $17.50 kind of level that we got, that we came and visited today, okay? And we've also talked about the gap for an extended period of time now that was left before the May run. And something to note is that AMC it comes after its gaps. It just does. Like that's just the reality of AMC at this point. Like, and I'll show you an example of this back here. You have this gap is just silly. Like this one, right? So if you look at this gap, this was established in September of 2020. AMC went on to trade for literally like 4 months and go down how far? From the bottom of this gap, it went down as much as 65% and found its way all the way back up for this gap, right? So it has a way with filling gaps. And I mean, while we're here, I'm just noticing this gap here, so we're definitely going to throw that in there, okay? That never got filled. It's just a trend that it's like at this point, it's pretty much undeniable. Now, on the, like, why did we stop here? Why did we stop at $17.84? Why did we recover here? And we're going to talk about SPY as well, because SPY and the situation that it's in is very important to AMC at this point, because when indexes are falling, AMC is falling with them, but more aggressively, like I said. And going into this week, I was talking about how I was bullish on AMC pending whether or not SPY has continuation to the upside, and that's why we're going to talk about it. And I'll talk about why I thought it was going to head to the upside. So this 1775 is a Fibonacci level when you measure, if you measure from the bottom of the buy button to, oh wait, maybe it's an all-timer, sorry. Prepare your videos, Dave. Prepare them. If you're watching live, I'm doing the YouTube video live right now, and then we're going to do Q&A after, okay? Yeah, so this is actually a 382 on the regular Fibonacci. You broke just below it before you got recovery. If you measure from the bottom of the buy button all the way to the top of the June run. And then let's see if it's a fib. Oh, that's with log scale on. Okay, so with log scale off, it is actually 1711 is the 786 for that move, okay? So, and we do know that Amy likes its 786s. Specifically with log scale turned off, AMC prefers 786 retracements. And if you notice, this 786 retracement falls right into this gap, okay? So I'm going to be honest, I'm fully expecting a move down here at this point. I would just be so, I'd almost be confused at this point if you didn't see a move to 1711. You're so close to this gap, and really not 1711, but the bottom of the gap probably is where you're gonna hit at least 1675. I would be shocked if you didn't see that at this point, just because overall, like that just seems imminent. And as I've talked about on the channel for a long time, and I know I have to repeat myself over and over again with things like this, because these sorts of ideas, I mean, I say it in a video, but then, like, obviously you're not you're not watching every single video. You're not and you're not going to remember every single thing that I say, and you're also watching a bunch of other people, so you can get confused. But for months, I remember specifically back here in October, I talked with Jen Collado in a live stream, you guys might remember, and I talked about how with the buy button collapse, you did go underneath this 786 retracement, right? And you held just below it, and really you sat on top of this gap that I drew here, which obviously is just there because but you held just below it before you popped back up. So the equivalent move, right? Well, the equivalent move, if you measure from there, is this 1988, which now you are sitting under. So do you curl back up here? I mean, you could, and would that be representative? If you curled back up here, would that be representative of a similar move? Let's see. If you hit the gap and then you rolled up like that. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat similar. You're not down to your 885 on that relative measurement. Let's see. And then also you do have the pre-market move on the January run that you should probably consider as well. So let's look at that one. Get our extended hours up. Measure here. And so here you did hang more significantly underneath that 786. That is something. That is something. The only reason I'm looking at this, by the way, is not because like, oh, everything has to repeat itself. It has to behave the same way. But I think that looking at these different trends and things that have happened with the stock before is important to understand the nature of how the stock could move in the future. And by the way, like, I'm not here to convince you to be bullish or buy it or bearish. I'm here to basically give my technical take and give you something to consider going forward. I'm not here to convince you of anything. So let's do this Fibonacci again, but let's look at it on log. And so, yeah, this one you hang right above the 618. See, this looks really, this is super convincing right here. I mean, this is almost a perfect retrace. Like, you literally just hang right above it. It's just like, nope, I don't want to go to the 618, you know? I mean, this is really convincing if I'm being honest, which, I'm never being honest because I'm obviously a hedgy shill and I am here just to pump someone's bags or something. So yeah, that similar move, and again, this is what we've talked about for a long time as well, that similar move would be hanging right above this 1450 zone. So I'd say, look, you come through, let's go to daily again. You come through here, and this is just being considerate of all the Fibonacci's, all the relevant Fibonacci levels, both on log scale and not log scale, as to what has happened historically, right? We have, I'm going to bolden this for a second. So you have this red level, okay, which is the previous resistance that is now, essentially going to be support based on this last run, right? Because you got rejected down here. You come up, you get rejected again, and then once you break it, you just blast off, right? So that's going to be significant support. I mean, that's just, I know Rico was kind of talking about somebody's tweet or something that was talking about that in his video last night. But it is, I mean, this is, fundamental support and resistance analysis would suggest, hey, your previous rally came from here, right? So this better hold, because if this doesn't hold, guys, look, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. If this doesn't hold, and you break down below it and then you retest it and you go below again and you make a lower low below this, those crazy theories that we were talking about yesterday with extreme gains, everybody's acting like that guy's crazy, but that is, look, man, you are starting to get into, $11, $9, like for real. You come down, you test here and you get rejected, you're talking about that zone. You are. Yeah, so And then again, this gap all the way down here at $5.28. And I said AMC likes gaps, right? It chases them. And I'm not saying that that has to get filled. I'm just saying that like we need to be realistic. We need to sit here and talk about the chart in its entirety. So what are the positive things, right? What are the short-term things that I'm looking for that would suggest reversal? Again, I'm fully expecting a move down here, okay, to 1675. And really, to be honest with you, if you go down here and then you curl like this, like you did previously with the buy button collapse, and I want you to understand how what is the state of the stock when that happens, right? If you break into this zone here, you are at the same Fibonacci levels essentially that you were at when they turned the button that you use to buy the stock off. They turned it off here. That is how sold the stock is, okay? And some would say oversold. I'm just saying, I just want to like really point out that is how much selling that you were in. The same as if only selling was the option for retail, at least, right? For retail, at least, is the key word there, because, you know, obviously probably institutions were buying back when this happened. All right, so what is a bullish interpretation, right? So there are a few things that are like, what am I looking for from a reversal standpoint? There are a few things that I'm looking for. Again, we are still in a falling wedge, which is like it's a developing wedge, okay, guys? Like this thing is not concrete yet, right? And you don't have a confirmation, by the way, of a falling wedge until you get your breakout, okay? So that's just something to be mindful of. I'm not here, you know, to like dampen your hopes or anything, but until you get that confirmation, you're speculating, okay? Until you break out, you retest, and then you make a new higher high. So an example of what that would look like is if you just bounce tomorrow, okay? Just for example, you come back, you retest. Oh, hey, that tool, I saw Tyler use that tool. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But the path is better. You break out, right? You fill your gap. You break out. You come back. You retest. And then as soon as you make a higher high on wherever that breakout zone is, right? As soon as you break out there, professional traders, like high-level traders, are gonna go, oh yeah, this is a reversal confirmed. We're you know, those traders would be saying, okay, yeah, you know, you got a good exit here at $30. That's what they would be saying. Now, would that, you know, is that enough to fuel a big rally? It just depends on the volume, right? You need volume continuation outside of these patterns to confirm them. But that is something that you have going for you on this stock, okay? I mean, I see it that way. You have multiple touches on the bottom here, a touch here, and then now you're kind of holding this zone. And again, if this goes lower, it still is technically, right, a developing falling wedge. So you can go down to these zones and still be in this wedge, okay? You have two touches here. You get this last touch down here maybe, and perhaps it looks something like this, right? Fill the gap, get a bounce. Everybody's like, oh, a gap fill coming. Or even, you come down here, damn, this shit lagging. Or even you fill the gap. You fill the gap like this, and then you head fake bulls, right? Bulls get trapped here, up here at 21. Because if you came down to $16 and then you bounced to like $22 in the matter of a couple days, you'd be like, oh shit, like it's on, right? Like a lot of people would. Maybe outsiders, right? Maybe not apes or whatever, however you wanna look at it. Then you get sent back down, and then you continue to trade down into this falling wedge. Look, guys, I mean, at this point, this previous support previous resistance does look like it wants to, it does want to be interacted with. You know, if I'm just looking at the chart objectively, this 1450, you know, it just does. I know I said it was my least likely scenario when we were like back here. I did say it was a possibility. I said it was my least likely of three scenarios, but you know, now looking at the chart and how this thing is just breaking through its resistance, I mean, its supports, you know, it's heavily suggestive. So I still see this, like, I'm not saying like, I think that, and I've said this for months too, that this would be like an absolute bottom type of opportunity if you came down here. You have the correlation with your Fibonacci's. I'll show one more time just so that everybody sees it before I go over to SPY, and my computer is lagging its freaking tail off right now. Hopefully the video doesn't get messed up as a result. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting like 5 frames per second. So you have your 618 down here, right? You have the correlation with the potential wedge that you could be building out here. Yeah, I mean, this is a reasonable thing. If you want to see that scenario play out, right? Like I made a video last week, I'm bullish on AMC going into this week, right? The scenario that I was talking about was because SPY, and I'm going to draw another line here just because I think, because I was thinking that SPY was looking like it wanted to reverse up and continue up into this rising wedge. Now, I think that SPY S&P 500, I think that no matter what, at some point this year, in my opinion, not financial advice, this thing you're gonna dump. Okay, SPY is gonna see $400, like ish. Like you're definitely gonna probably test 420, light it up, man. And then after that, 394. You start kind of looking at these sorts of regions like, okay, yeah, we got to come back and test. But I do think that that SPY can rally up to $490, $500, and it could even go higher. It could go higher, man. Like you got to understand, Composite Man, he works in mysterious ways. Like he'll send you messages and make you think that something's gonna happen, but then trick you out of it before he sends you on a dumpola cola, right? So let me just let me take this off of the chart or something. Wait, hold on. Oh shit, I still got my brush. I hate when that happens, dude. That is the worst. For those in chat, I'm actually making a live video right now. So if I'm going to be chatting with you guys in a second. Make sure you drop a like on the stream / video if you're watching this far. I appreciate you. Help support the channel, which you don't have to do, by the way. You don't have to support the channel if you don't want to. So anyway, yeah, this was the SPY line. Let me just tap these. Let me tap these wicks right quick. I believe this was the SPY line. Let me see. Why is it jumping like that? That was weird. Yeah, I mean, this is, yeah, I think this is the line for sure. So you got this double tap here, right? When you got out of the COVID dump, you come back up, you come back to retest these levels over the course of a few weeks, and then you start your climb. And within this climb, right, obviously there are other trend lines that can be drawn. You probably would say, this would probably be a trend that you were holding for a while. And see, this is kind of how you're going to see it play out. See how this is a rising wedge? Boom, you break out of it. You find support at one of these key levels here, 427 in this case. I'd say that this is probably to be looking out for on the Armageddon. Sorry. You break out of your rising wedge, boom. And so then you're saying, okay, the rising wedge is invalidated. Well, no, you're just climbing up into another rising wedge, and that's why I think that this thing is gonna have a really bad, really bad, really bad instance of price action. Put it that way. At some point this year, where it's like it gets really nasty. Because you kind of created this new wedge. This trend, this upper trend line right here is what's really is. You break this, right? Let me make this nice and noticeable and bold. Okay, I'm talking about SPY because I'm trying to reference it to the AMC situation. Okay, guys, so don't think that I'm like just ignoring AMC or whatever. I already talked about AMC. I'm gonna tie it all back. Okay. Let me just change this to red because it's resistance. Getting confused. Okay, so this trend line is the problematic trend line for SPY. Okay, this one, which was so you got rejected down off of this sort of zone here back in December of 2018. You come up April 2019, reject. July 2019, reject. December 19, reject. February 2020, reject, and hard, right? This is when you had your COVID collapse. And since you climb back up here, you keep making these higher highs, right? SPY's pumping, the economy is doing great. But every time that you come up into this kind of region of the chart, you start to get sent back down. And this is indicative of bullish exhaustion, okay? And just like rising wedges work to predict downside, falling wedges work to predict upside. We've had a lot of success with falling wedges on this channel, right? But this is a really big macro, nasty, scary move, okay? And look, the implications of this are not the best, right? But I'm saying all this to say that I don't see SPY just breaking down out of this line and just running to 425. I don't see that as the occurrence as it stands right now. I think that you're going to find support here. They're going to continue to kick their cans, right? And you're going to see these 490, 500 levels before you get sent back down. And you can even see here that you have a more minute sort of, and this is, we are getting into that territory now where, right, bears are getting a little bit more convicted here, guys, on SPY, at least, okay? And a lot of people will tell you that SPY dumping is good for AMC. You'd have to look into that thesis for yourself. I'd say maybe long term you might be able to make a case of that, depending on what the status is of people's margins and their shorts and stuff like that. Like, I get the narrative, but in the short term, it's not good. When SPY and indexes dump, AMC is going to suffer. Okay, and you can see here that bears are getting a little bit more control. You're getting a shorter term sort of wedge developing here. I don't think that you're confirming that, right? Let me take this line off. It's a little confusing. This one, clean the chart up. This up. Change this to like blue or something. Okay, so this, right? If you're up in this region, if you're in March and stuff, and you get rejected at this 490, look out below. Okay, that's how I see it. That is. It's so bad. It's so bad. If you cannot break this line, it's so bad. But anyway, that's a little bit too far in the future for us to be talking about it in reference to AMC. In the short term, what you need to be looking for is SPY reversing on this green line. If SPY does not reverse on this potential trend that's developing here off of these two wicks, if it does not reverse here, it is going to tank. This would be a break of this rising wedge, and you're looking at like long-term fibs. You're looking at long-term from March of 2020 fibs, dude. Like, do you understand? The 236 on this guy is $400 SPY. Okay, that is a major market event. This is not a like. This is like, okay, like 20% retracement for SPY is a huge deal, guys. And so if you think that AMC is just going to go crazy while that's happening, that is optimistic in my opinion. And again, you can look into the cases for that. People saying, the margin requirements, but it's going to be a lot of bleeding. It will be a lot of bleeding before that kind of comes into play, in my opinion. Because these guys, the margin calls, they have insane liquidity, guys. They really do. They do. I mean, that's just true. They're giant, multi-trillion-dollar businesses from a liquidity standpoint. So anyway, I just think, at this point, where's Cappuccino? I know he's probably in chat right now, like, oh, hey, now you're talking about my $16. But anyway. You do have this gap to the upside now that you've formed. Okay, so that's good. Let's see. I mean, you can draw this wedge a few different ways. Let's see here. I want to draw it as a wedge. Take the wicks off. See if there's any. might be overlooking. Yeah, I mean, you need to see SPY. I think SPY looks like it wants to, just to give you an interface on like how close. Dude, this thing is lagging so bad. Holy. It's like I built my computer in the year 2000 or something. Yeah, I mean, so you're pretty much in range here, okay, guys? Like, I think SPY probably does come down, test this at this point because you just broken the other bull trends. See if it's a fib. It did fill this gap here. I did tweet about that. The potential that this could be a fake out because you filled this gap. That's not the exact gap. My computer is lagging so bad that I can't. But yeah, so you did fill this gap, right? Could have been right here. And so maybe this is that fake out, and you did develop a new gap up here. In this like 460 region. So maybe that is indicative of the fake out. I think that you probably need a little bit more time. So if you're probably going to come test this thing right here, and that's going to be a bad day. But then you can have your climb up. I'm telling you, the way the government floats SPY and everything like that. I just don't think that at this point they're ready to just let everything just drop, and that's why they've set those timelines for like when they're going to raise interest rates and all that stuff. I think that they want to send this thing back up, in my opinion. So that's basically it. That's the video. That's everything that we're looking for. That's everything I'm kind of focusing on when it comes to AMC right now. Everything that I'm looking for. I do think, guys, that you come and you test your gap. So what did I have that at? Let me turn the wicks back on. Charts look so cool without the wicks. And we're going to get into our Q&A on the live stream. Yeah, 1670-ish, 16 sort of zone. And then remember, just in closing here, the Fibonacci from the buy button collapse. This is, kind of where you're looking at like ultimate support zone. If you break below this 1430, okay? If you break below there, yeah, I mean you're talking about sub 10. If you break below here, retest and fail, you're talking about sub $10 AMC. That's the reality, okay? From a technical standpoint. No fractals or anything today, fortunately. Whew, those things stress me out. All right, so let's get into the Q&A. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop a like on it if you haven't already. And yeah, let's have a conversation. I am now reading the chat. What's up? I'm going to tell everybody what's up right quick before I start answering questions. Cappuccino's in here, I'm sure. Composite government now. Yeah. Come on now. You think Composite Man don't have the government in his back pocket? Are you kidding me right now? Is this still a squeeze or not? Chase, I've never really talked about the squeeze side of things on this channel. For squeeze data, you should probably look into something else. Like some other channel. Or downside. Yeah, generally speaking. What up, Chad? What up, C's? What up, Cap? What up, Cappuccino? Dude, you're like, I bet you're like, Dave, $16 imminent, huh? I mean, I'm not saying, I don't think that, like, I wouldn't say 100% this week, but I will say that your chances got a lot better after today with the freaking market. And by the way, saying, this is not me copping out, by the way. Saying, oh, look, SPY dump. So now my TA, that's my excuse. It's okay. I believe that everything is built into this chart. I don't think that you can look at an individual chart and then say, oh, this didn't happen for me because SPY did something or whatever. Like, I'm not sitting here making excuses By the way, like that is not what I'm trying to accomplish here. I take full responsibility. And by the way, the week is still on. Okay, so hey, I said I was bullish this week. I didn't say Tuesday. All right. uh. So extreme gains, bear fractal. Cap, I saw you by the way. Cap, do you have Cappuccino? Do you have Twitter, dude? Hit me up on Twitter. Or Discord. Up there. So yeah, I mean, so going up to, let's see why we would go up based on, you know, just technical. So like I kind of like interfacing with the fractal stuff in a way of like, okay, how do we explain the fractal through technicals, assuming that we aren't in fractals, which I do believe we are in fractals. Okay, so I'm not saying that that fractals are invalid. I'm just saying that I think that trying to confirm them with technicals is important, if that makes sense. So she said, hold on. Bro, sorry, the chat's going a little crazy. So extreme gains, bear fractal says we go back up to 22 and then tank down to 60. So yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because you have this 22. That would be quite a bull trap. And then down 16. I mean, I could see it. You could see that sort of thing play out. I mean, I could see it, you know? And by the way, I'm, you know, obviously I'm just going off of this wedge line just because I'm like saying, hey, yeah, let's look at the very extreme, right? Super extreme sort of area. Oh, yeah. Did I draw it with wicks off? Is that what it was? I'm like sitting here like, wait, draw this. Like, that was it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that sort of scenario playing out. I don't, is that like his super bear fractal rose, the $2 one or whatever? Balaclava Trader says, why don't you talk about the squeeze? You don't believe in it because you are the composite man? So, and Cappuccino said this earlier in chat, but like squeezes aren't like how I look at the markets and trade, you know, and make my investment decisions. I make my investment decisions off of technical reasoning. And I can be wrong, right? But I think that what I look to bring to the community is a more balanced view from a technical standpoint. And I do have a bullish bias, but I try to stay relatively balanced and look at the chart objectively on a day-to-day basis, right? Whether I like it or not, I try to put myself in situations that I think are plausible or probable, or you know, and I go off of degrees of probability, but I can always be wrong. But I don't do it based on squeezes. Now, the fundamental basis for what I believe about AMC is based on the narrative surrounding AMC, right? That's what initially got me interested. But my entries were almost all technically based entries. The reason that I bought AMC originally was because it was it would have been was because it was in this 618 region after this, and I saw some people talking about it on social media. I saw the buzz around it, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, it seems like there's a little bit of excitement. I just kind of opened up like a, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't sort of position here. At like $9, $10 was like my range. So I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that I don't think that the squeeze is possible or real or anything like that. What I'm saying is like it's just not what I base my day-to-day life off of, is just sitting around waiting for a squeeze, because I don't specialize in the elements of markets that would cause that sort of thing, like a giant squeeze. Does that make sense? Technical view with a mix of fairy tale personification. Composite man. Fairy tale, huh? I don't know, Solid Squeeze. Might want to look into that a little bit more. But hey, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't want to be rich, Dave? I don't like base my life off of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make decisions based on stuff like that. Does that make sense? Knox 2K, your thoughts on Friday 21 AMC? Can't this happen? Knox, do you mean like $21? Like, what are you telling me? Friday 20. Oh, you're saying like it just rips on the 21st, maybe? Is that what you're saying? Because it's the expirations for all those. Trey, the VOD is gonna be designed for you to rewatch, so you can rewatch at any, you know, whenever we're done here. It's like a video, like the first 30 minutes is essentially a YouTube video. Sweaty, do you still see a leg up to $100? Like, in what time frame, Sweaty? Do you mean like ever? Yes, I do see. You see a rally to $100 plus. But I think that, you know, you're breaking these technical levels, and you're creating an environment where it may take a little bit more time than whatever. And I know that that's kind of like, you know, beating a dead horse, because that's kind of been the story of this freaking channel, is that I say, yeah, hey, look, this could happen. And then it doesn't, and it doesn't happen, and so then it extends our timeline further, right? So that's how technical analysis works. Lou is trying to pump Friday. You know, Lou. I like Lou. The next 2 to 3 months. I mean, it's hard to say. It's you know, we're in a very kind of decisive kind of place right now. So just to give you a reference point, remember, I'm kind of comparing this section of the chart to the potential rundown to like this 15-ish kind of zone, okay? You come down here, so it's like 14, 15, 16 kind of zone. So like, let's just bars it. And by the way, this is not like me predicting anything or anything. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't base my life off of things like that either. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and do a bars pattern and then be like, yeah, that's what I think's gonna happen. So just to give you a reference of what I'm kind of talking about here, I believe that the situation would look something like this, probably. My computer's lagging. I bought it in 1992, and it's finally starting to kick the can. You would see this sort of rounding bottom sort of scenario. Like, I think that this is pretty, you know, pretty convincing. Knife down, you get held down here. Oh, dude, and by the way, I do want to talk about this too, because I think I don't know if I talked about this like on a video, but I know I talked to Rico about it before. You know, the narrative surrounding January 28th, and I can just picture Jim Cramer. You know, think about it. Just, you know, composite man with me a little bit, right? Jim Cramer just gets to like celebrate, you know, the failure of the 8 movement on January 28th. If you would have sold on January 28th, you'd be higher, you know, than you are today, and, you know, and blah blah blah, like those sorts of narratives, right? And it just kind of like does this sort of thing, and then just you know, like that would be pretty, you know, that would be pretty interesting. It just, you know, picture it in your head a little. What up, Team 7? Scared, dude. Come on. Look, I know that this isn't probably what, you know, like this probably isn't like the most popular sort of thing for me to say or whatever, but I'm going to say it here. And you know, I probably should have said it earlier. and I do regret it to a certain degree. But I mean, I have always preached. Okay, I'm not gonna give myself that hard of a time because I have always preached responsibility. And one time, I remember being in a space call one time. This thing is over here. I'm evacuated for the hurricane, and I'm talking about the potential upside scenarios. And this guy that was in that call with me tells me, "Oh, responsibility. You seem like you say that word a lot. It's like you're trying to program people or blah blah blah." Like he was suggesting that I was essentially trying to brainwash people into not having as large of a position in AMC as like these YOLO all in, that sort of narrative, like, because that's what I was really combating when I first started Twitter and YouTube and stuff. I was like, dude, like, please don't go all in, man. You can't go all in on anything. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be balanced, man. You do. And so, now I'm not saying like, I told you so. That's not the goal here. What I'm saying is, this is why. Because look, I can do technical analysis and I can be very accurate but I can still be wrong. You can still be wrong. Everybody can be wrong. Nothing in life is promised. And you have to balance your position in a way that makes you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, yeah, you gotta protect yourself and your family first, man. Fuck all these apes. Fuck that shit, man. Like, don't. I'm not saying fuck all apes. I'm just saying just that the people who are on that all in 100K floor no matter what, like, that is dangerous. Very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should always protect yourself from people who are just like, this is 100%, no doubt, you can't fail. And dude, this thing, like I said, I am still very confident in its ability to rally because I believe in the stock's brand. I do, 100%. 100% I do. And I think it will turn around, and you will see 3-digit AMC, or at least maybe a composite man fake out just short of it or something. You will see recovery, in my opinion, right? And I could be fucking wrong, and it could go to fucking zero. But I am prepared for that. And I know this is a terrible fucking time to talk about this because now, but I've talked about it. I've talked about it throughout the time. So I need to stop doing that to myself. I've said this. I've said this. Nothing is promised. That shit happens, right? And people are fucking wrong. That's reality, right? And I know maybe that's not fun to hear right now, but the market is a place where you can make a shit ton of life-changing fucking money. Trust me. And you will live to fight another fucking day. You will. But you always have to be willing to understand that you could be fucking wrong. Always. And maybe I should have been more clear about that. I should have been more preachy about that. But the pressures within this community are just so strange. I've never really dealt with anything like it before. Of just this, like, you say something reasonable like this, and like today, I'm probably not gonna get shit on for it. But when we were back here, okay, this range, this 45 running up to this 52, saying something like this. What I'm saying right now was like fucking, like, you can't say that, which is ridiculous. That is the fundamental reality of the world that we live in. You always have to protect yourself against risk. Like, dude, fuck. I will say, high conviction, having a high relative position in an individual kind of thing can pay off, and you got to do that at some points in your life. You do. But you also do have to. You got to be okay with those losses. If that makes sense. Like that's the balance that's the line you have to walk. Success says chill. Don't get wimpy, Dave. Yeah, see, I know. I'm sorry. I love you guys and I care about what happens to you guys. I yeah, that's true, Howard. Not financial advice. No more sativa. I haven't smoked in a long time. Yeah, I know, Mikey. You can disagree you can say disagree we aren't wrong. Like I get that. But like I don't know, man. You can't 100% anything in the fucking world. That is just not I don't know. Like if somebody just came to me and said, "Yo, I have 100 I'm high right now, dude. I have 100% certainty. No doubt, 100% that this stock that I'm telling you about, it could, whatever, like say it's BBIG. BBIG, it's just a fucking what a meme BBIG is. Holy 566 in post. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. And they were like, "Look, I know with 150% certainty, and listen to this, I have institutional confirmed 100% data that has been researched by scientists and all these things that BBIG is 100% guaranteed to go to $200, right? Somebody came to me today and showed me unequivocal, no doubt. You can't do anything to deny it. Guess what percentage of my portfolio I would put in it? Yes, and what I'm saying is not some scammy shit, right? 100% proven. It is happening no matter what. It's going to $200, and you cannot. I would only put like maybe 15% of my portfolio. Maybe 10 or 15%. Right? And that might sound crazy. Like, why wouldn't you just go all in? You know with 100% certainty that this is going to happen. Just because I don't believe in fucking guarantees. I don't. I did not say 200. Not financial advice. I don't think 200 is realistically possible for BBIG. I'd say, like, if you say you just keep cycling up, by the way, for BBIG, and again, this isn't financial advice. If you just went all the way, this is your limit. I'd be out at like 16, 17, not financial. So that's what, Yeah, I would, 5-10% of my portfolio. I would never risk. I got a family and shit. Like I can't, I'm not trying to pump BBIG. I know somebody's out there. Somebody's out there right now saying, "Why is he pumping this distraction play?" It was an example, dude. But yeah, so and yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, what's this timeline? Let me see if I can please Cappuccino. I see he's still in the chat. I'm just fucking with you, dude. Um, yeah, yeah. I could see you filling the gap here, and in hell, and then look. I mean, this could get extended out too, right? Realistically, because think about it this way: if you are thinking about it in terms of fractal, right? In terms of fractal, this and I'm saying, by the way, do not bet the fucking family farm on this either. Okay, I'm literally just like hypothesizing right now. This is taking a relatively much longer time than this did, right? But like if we said like just top to top, boom, this one took 87 trading days, 126 days. And then right now you are at 159 trading days, 230 days, right? So this is taking a much longer time relatively. You guys want to see something weird? Some weird shit. I see everything like this now. Is pretty unfortunate. for my sanity. Like this thing is like this. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. And then like this thing is like this. I'm going to get back to the questions in a second. Can you guys see this clearly? You might not be able to. It's kind of like this. Kind of. Very roughly doing. And I mean, maybe you would say like this, because it's so extended, so it's a little bit more like, it's a little bit harder to do perfectly or whatever. But like basically kind of have like this sort of thing going on, you know, like these things are very related to each other, but like backwards. So that's, you know, there's your, because what would happen then? Well, you would have financial advice. I'll tell you one thing, man, like historically, things that I've been interested in, you know, some of the investments that I've done the best in, I do remember them being at the absolute, dude, I will tell you guys, crypto, man. I will fucking tell you this shit right now, dude. I'm just kidding. When this happened, see this? This COVID, let me measure this. When this happened, after Bitcoin was in its bear market, okay? In this bear market here, for years, like 2+ years of a bear market, and then it dumped 62%, okay? There were crypto permabulls. This thing went as low as 38.50. There were crypto permabulls, people who had their entire life savings at some point in crypto, that had YouTube channels and Twitter accounts and everything like that, who will tell you that when this happened, they thought it might be over. And if you guys know about Bitcoin, right, the crowd that's in Bitcoin, they are like the most committed, like, I believe in this no matter what, and I will never leave it no matter what, and people that there are. And they've been like that. They've been like that for like those people, like since like 2013 to 2016, like before the Bitcoin rally, they've been like that. Like, oh yeah, this is the thing. It will go to $1 million and all that, right? And those sorts of people were, when this was happening, we're saying, wow, the world might be ending and this might not, this, or like the world is changing and this might not be a part of it. And then guess what? From that point, if you would have bought in that situation when people were the most fearful, they were the most concerned, right? You could have seen upwards of 1,600% gains. Okay? I'm going to tell you, there are a very select group of people who buy when something like this happens. A very select group of people. And by the way, I'm not sitting here telling you that you should always do that. And you will always be right. I'm only showing you that as an example of the greatest opportunities in the market are sometimes shrouded in the most fear possible. Just saying, you know, it is a thing. And that is not me saying that AMC, it goes into super duper fear mode, because it could all go to shit. It could, I'm not saying it is. It could go to $0. Anything could. SPY could go to $0. Most likely won't. Probably could happen, okay? So I'm not saying that if AMC goes to $5, oh my God, I'm not saying that's happening either. But if it did, I'm not saying that if you bought there, you're 100% going to see insane gains as a result of it, okay? But I am saying that the people who bought AMC, at fucking $2, $1, are the people, institutions, by the way, most likely, that, have reaped the most benefits of this entire rally. Same thing with GME, right? I think GME was down at like $2-3, right? 1 point. So like, actually, I'll tell you guys a story. I remember, and I'm gonna get back to Q&A in a second. 400 viewers, 150 likes. What's up with that, dude? Is the stream still working? I see somebody say later rip. No, we're good. No drop frames. Oh, I got a few drop frames. I think we're all right then. I actually remember, probably it would have been around here, August 2019. I swear, dude. I swear. I'm not lying to you right now, okay? Wait. It would have been a holiday, because I think it was around Christmas. So it would have been here. This seems kind of high. I remember it being, maybe it was $5. It was around Christmas, because I remember I was talking to my fiance's brother here, and maybe around here, somewhere. And I was like, dude, like, GameStop, like, it's retail. Look at how cheap the stock is, and it's it's gotten run down so bad. It's down, so much percent, And I was like, man, like, this shit's probably going to zero, like, I mean, it's super cheap, but I don't know. I think it's gonna go to zero. I specifically remember having that conversation, I swear. And if I would have bought there, like on that day when I was saying that it's the most dead that it's ever been, right? No one cares at all. I could have sold for upwards of, and obviously it would be difficult to time the top, right? I'm just, I'm totally just like, hypothetical, 7,000%, I mean, it's something crazy. But for all those, you got what's another company that I used to watch? Fucking Turtle Beach, dude. Are they even public anymore? Yeah, they are. Look, $20. For every one of those, you got one of these, okay? You got well, yeah, I would have done kind of good on this though. Wait, hold on. No, I'd be right around where I was. I used to watch this. This used to actually be like trading under $1, but I think they reverse split or something. But or did they? I have been watching it for a while. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, this seems like it's doing pretty good. The economy in general, I guess, right? All right. I guess let's go. Oh, holy shit. GME is 108 right now? Damn. That's kind of cheap. All right. Let's talk. And then I'm going to hop off. BBIG is at 590. Holy crap, dude. Damn. What the hell? Just briefly here before I talk to you guys. You do have this kind of secondary resistance thing that's been happening. TradingView fucks up your lines, dude. It really does. You do have this kind of like intermediary kind of peak zone that it's done before. See here? Like it does these big rallies, hits the top red line, comes back down, and then it stops at this white line. Big red line, stops at white line, big red line. Maybe this is a white liner. So just be on the lookout for that. I mean, I'm not even saying that it can go there. I'm just saying, like, just something to think about. I mean, what is that? Like, if that's tomorrow, just for example, it'd be like $8.70. Yeah, TradingView. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk with them. Why is this shit so big? I accidentally scrolled it. I think I remember earlier doing that. Yes, Adam. I agree with you, Adam Chudwin. I agree with what Adam Chudwin said. Not financial advice, Rose, but if you use charts at all, I would draw it kind of like this. use, you know, and look at where the historic support and resistance. Do Fun and DWAC pump just, is it like a negative beta thing? Is it like a oh yeah, you know, Biden's economy is crashing, so look, oh, Dwayne, you want to see that? Is it like an anti-Biden thing? Is what I'm asking, I guess. It's like when the economy, like when the SPY goes down, it's just gonna go up because it's like, oh, Trump, you know, like I don't know. Not political, by the way. I don't give a shit. I don't care about your politics or mine. I don't care about anybody's politics. We're all going to fucking world. I'm not very optimistic on the world in general. I think they're all on the same team. So yeah, let's talk about the GME distribution. You know, it's something interesting to talk about. I like that. So GME, right? GME, by the way, I loved nothing more than the GameStop rally. I loved it. Yeah, Astro wasn't in jail. I talked to him on the phone. I said, dude, all my followers were saying you were in jail. Joe, I'm gonna show you the Volkswagen chart too, dude. It'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you up, dude. Alright. Jimmy. For my Wyckoff people, the people that, you know, I mean, I'm a Wyckoff guy, okay? I'm not saying I'm not a Wyckoff guy. I'm just saying, like, for my peeps that really fucks with the Wyckoff, you know? Tell me what this shit looks like, dog. You guys haven't seen this already. I mean, some of you probably have because I posted on Twitter before, like we said. But so I'll pull up our distribution. Pull up my my distribution schematic here. Show you a distribution schematic. What do you say? What do you say? I show you a distribution. No, that's not the right one. Let me go. Wyckoff. 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 Like to Wyckoff. All right. This is just like, and again, the schematics, as I've always said a million times, I've probably said it way too many times. I really probably shouldn't have to say anything as much as I've said this, but they're just schematics, right? They're just examples, and they show an example of how a phase could play out, right? But I, you know, they took the buy button away, but like this shit look kind of. You know, this shit look kind of good, like, you know, like, I don't know, just to illustrate here. So January 26th. Guess why? Buy climax, right? Buying pressure slowing down, perhaps. Probably your automatic reaction is here. That's like your automatic kind of, and then this would be your up thrust in phase B. And then this is definitely a sign of weakness. So here, this is a good example, a sign of weakness in phase B. And this is the buy button, by the way. I mean, I don't, you know, to call that a sign of weakness, it seems like it's a little unfair. But, you know, Composite Man, he's a crazy guy. But, yeah. I mean, seems pretty good to me. You know, then this would be like this would probably be your secondary sign of weakness, like the one in phase D, which is the opposite of a sign of strength, by the way. And then yeah, you phase E out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me go look at the chat. You know what's even crazier is that before, and I made a video about this before, but you know, it's been out for a while, so I'll just refresh everybody. Those of you who've been watching the channel for a while. Ooh. know what I'm gonna do, but yeah. So yeah, before this, back, the initial bottom being August 2019, you have the opposite of distribution, which is a pretty clear accumulation, in my opinion. Yeah. So this would suggest that there were institutions, because retail can't really create this sort of I don't know. I don't think retail can create this sort of trading environment from August 2019 until, maybe your sign of strength and backup is September 2020. Yeah, I don't think retail can do that. Pretty weird, right? Doesn't this mean the stock is just going to go down? No, not necessarily. So, um, these market phases are very subjective to the way that institutions perceive the liquidity, where they can make money on the stock, right? So like if they think that they will test lower trading ranges, see how retail reacts. If they get good reactions, then they'll say, okay, yeah, we could see higher levels here. They'll send it up. If they continue to see good reactions, that would be your sign of strength, and then back up LPS. They say, oh, retail's very interested in this stock. Okay, great. And then they'll send it up further. And then they'll just keep sending it up further until they don't have buyers anymore, would be the hypothetical example, right? So like just pretend like Genie wasn't a short squeeze. The reason that you could justify the continuation of institutions driving the price upward by saying as they ran through this parabolic arc, right, they continued to see buyers. And then as the buyers diminished would be the hypothetical scenario, right? So like say here. See here how volume, you get a higher high here, but then you have lower volume. See the volume's higher here, 197 million volume versus 178 million volume. This could have been the sign to institutions that are playing this long. They were like, I don't think that we're going to have buyers for too much longer. Now, ironically, this is $145, $150. So that shows you how powerful, how much they can drive prices up. But this is your up thrust after distribution. And an up thrust is kind of a weak move to the upside. I'll read the definition. Is a distributional counterpart to the spring and terminal shakeout in the accumulation trading range. It occurs in the latter stages of trading range and provides a definitive test of new demand after the breakout above the trading range resistance. Analogous to springs and shakeouts, a UTAD, not a required structural element. Wait, let me read the spring definition. Like they're describing it itself. Springs usually occur late within a trading range and allow the stock's dominant players to make a definitive test of the available supply before a markup campaign unfolds. A spring takes place below the trading range and reverses to close within the trading range. This action, so just so you know what I'm saying, and it's just an up thrust is really what I'm trying to define here. But basically, what they're saying is, this entire section, this entire section of the chart here could be classified as an up thrust after distribution. You see this low volume, right? And the price is just getting driven up here. This is institutions in this situation would be driving the price up in order to keep selling to retail before they dump the price. I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened. I'm just saying like that would be the interpretation from a Wyckoffean standpoint. BBIG is going absolutely bananas sandwich right now. Oh, look, here you go, BBIG. BBIG, look, this is a clear accumulation schematic, right? Yeah, this is yeah. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Not gonna lie. Yeah, just be careful. Because a lot of times you see it wants to it kind of did, didn't it? Kind of did come back and retest right here, and now it's getting sent up. Just look for the volume. Like, you got to see the volume increasing with the price, which up until this point you kind of have seen, so that's good signal. But eventually I'll show you an example. See, go to the daily chart. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, look, this is what I'll tell you. This thing, it actually looks kind of strong though, because every time it does this pump, you're getting more and more volume, and you're still in the middle of this one, and you haven't created a higher high. If you create a higher high and then you make a lower low in volume here, then I'd be like, well, that's kind of not good. But it's a pretty good move. Pretty good move. Again, I'd still be, I'd definitely be looking to take profits. If you, I probably bought, I should have bought here because I had this line drawn here already. But I was like, nah, there's no way they're just going to do the same thing again. There's no way they're going to just bounce it off of this trend line and then send it. But they did. Composite man. Damn you. Sorry. But yeah, I bought it like, I don't know, like $3. Once it broke here, like, oh, yeah, 360-ish I bought. Yeah, it just does this over and over again. It like just does. It's like a megaphone pattern. I've never even used a megaphone pattern before in my life, but that's what it looks like. It looks like a megaphone. But yeah, GME, that's some pretty interesting shit though, right? Pretty cool. I don't know, cool. It's interesting. Interesting is a good word for it. Bought literally 2 minutes before market close. Good for you, Rose. I mean, that was a risky play. Hopefully you didn't hopefully you didn't like go, crazy with it. I mean, if you went crazy with it, you're definitely reaping the benefits, but I'd say that that sort of behavior is like eventually traded it all day. Okay, yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, just buy crazy fucking dips and then have stop losses, don't do anything crazy. But yeah, I mean, swinging something like BBIG, not the fun, not unless you're heavily in profit, not the most fun endeavor, because eventually, see here, and this is how they fuck with you too, is because they do these rallies in post market, and the volume is just going to be intrinsically lower. So then it kind of makes the move look weak. What you want to see tomorrow is when it opens, if it continues to, oh my god. Yeah, if it continues to the upside. Oh, God. What if it opens up here? Oh, God. It just looks like it wants to. IG, dude. Oh, Lord. I almost threw up just now. You guys want to know something weird about me? I can't burp. I can't burp like a normal person. I don't know why. Sometimes I accidentally burp, but I can't like make myself burp. Fun fact. Yeah, look at this thing. You see these gaps, dude? That is so stupid, but look at this. It's literally just hunting this right now. Like, yeah, we're filling the gap, dog. Look, I might go to 0, okay? One day I might just break this trend and go to 0, but before I do that, I gotta fill these gaps, dog. I can't go to 0 before I fill these gaps. That's not how the market works, B. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Geraldo, I don't know. Yeah, I know. The option chain is crazy on BBIG. I don't have options, though. I only have shares. Because the IV was just so weird. I was like, what? Some of those contracts had like 2,000. I was like, nah, I'm good, dude. I'll pass. Because the risk to reward kind of, you start losing your risk to reward. Is an expanding wedge bearish? I don't really think that this is an expanding wedge. I think it's more of it's like a megaphone. Like an expanding wedge, I can't think of an example, but an expanding wedge, like a rising, what you're saying is a rising expanding wedge, like it would be, and it fucking looks the same as, can't, hold on. It'd be a little bit more vertical. Let's see. That's a good question. Let's look it up. Rising, expanding, wedge. The megaphone pattern even a fucking thing? Or is that something that I just fucking... Yeah, it says bearish. Upward tilted megaphone appearance. Minimum 3 touches. Boom, 3 touches. A lot of touches on the bottom. Dude, I hate this stock. Yeah, so yeah, watch your ass, dude. I literally bought it because it was on this trend line though. I was like, yeah, this thing's stupid. No, I didn't buy it here. When it broke up here, that's what happened. I broke fucking 350. I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah, you want to go to the moon? I'll come with you. Whatever. I was willing to lose whatever I put in. I wasn't putting any like crazy shit. Yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah, this thing's like again, probably what I just said. It's got these gaps, dude. The composite man, he just doesn't want to leave any gaps behind. He's an artist. He doesn't like to. He's like, yeah, dude, I want to send this thing to 0, but first we got to fill the gaps, because if I leave gaps, I just don't like it. It's not as pretty. And notice, right? And you're going to get another big nasty gap here too from today. You're filling here probably. I don't have a post. With the post market line. Hey, I appreciate you guys for not being toxic today. I honestly, whenever I went live, I was expecting just hella toxicity, but you guys seem like you're being nice every time I look at the chat, so I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Somebody in chat right now is like, "Fuck you, Dave. I'm gonna ruin your day now because you said that." Yo, where? I am gonna have to get going here in a the hizzy. Yeah, so you filled this. Oh no, dog. I think we all just got the shit beat out of us, so we're just like existing. I like that. Silas, the first 30 minutes or so of the live stream are gonna be like the video for the day, so you can you can watch that. That's kind of my technical update. I didn't talk to chat at all during that on purpose. Where do you think BBIG can top out at? I keep repeating myself. It's okay. I understand. Nobody's been here all fucking the whole stream. These gaps are kind of, like, so like tomorrow I'm probably on open. Hopefully it's still hanging out up here. I'll trim, a little bit here. And then, I'm trying to protect myself against risk because I'm going to be up like, 50% or so or more. So I'm going to take some profit because, that's what you do. So you have a lower average. You don't have as much risk. And then I'd be looking for it to try and come up to this gap here at like 730 something, and then I'd probably take some profit there because I'd be up like 200-ish%. And then I'd probably just moonbag the rest of it and just be like, fuck it. If it goes up here, and then if it goes to like, I'd say I'd be out. I'd probably get out at like 15 would be like my max. Like I don't want to hold anymore. Like I'd just be like, all right. And then I'd literally have like 50 shares or something. And then if it, if that, whatever that does, if it goes to fucking $1 million, then great. I got 50 million. That's kind of my mindset. When do I see upside with AMC? I think AMC needs to clear out now that you're down here, just to reiterate for people who weren't watching earlier, I think AMC needs to clear out. So I'm not saying all this yet, but I am saying that 100% I believe at this point that AMC needs to go down and see 16 fill this gap at like 1650. And this, what I drew here, was just a hypothetical because I was saying that this region of the chart looks like this, but in reverse. That's kind of interesting and aligns with a lot of support and resistance. And then we have the 618 on log scale. Let me pull that up for you right quick. 618 on log scale is in that region as well, this 1450 thing. And the only reason that that's important, well, I mean, obviously the 618 is important in general, but compounding on its importance is you kind of did a similar thing here where you oh yeah, you measure up to the pre-market. Remember when it went up to like $25 that day? It kind of hung right above this 618. So I just think that the correlation is a little too strong at this point. And I'd say that this, it feels like it could be a likelihood at this point where you kind of come into this sort of region. And then from there, I would say that support is just too, man, if you break that, again, I've said this before, but if you break this, if you break 1450 and you retest it and then you fail it again and you get sent down, you're going to like hell. And I'm not saying that means that it's over, right? I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that like it is going to like be fucking horrible. It's gonna be horrible. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not trying to fucking scare people or anything. I'm just saying, like, So, like, just think about the emotions that you or other people that you saw on Twitter or whatever were feeling whenever this came down here to 1775 today. And just think about those feelings with another 50% down. That is horrible. That's fucking horrible, okay? I do not want that to happen. But, anything is possible. Hopefully that answers her. Sourness says Doge is about to run. Let me look at VPVR. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I mean, come on, man. Come on. This thing, it can't. Let me make the VPVR a little bit thicker. Thick. Dude, for those of you who get me, who understand me, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys. Like, the people who just, like, get what I'm trying to accomplish, and like support me, like, dude, come on, man. This thing, it can't. Look at this. This is significant support, man. It can't go lower than this, dude. It can't. It just can't. It cannot go lower than $14. It's unbelievable. Support. It's just insane support. There's no fucking way. Look at this volume floor. There's no fucking way. Look, if this fucking goes below, I don't fucking know. And I'm not going to say, like, I'm just saying, I know what I'm doing when it comes to charts, dude. If this look, we're in the most manipulated fucking thing, okay? And I'm not trying to make excuses, but dude, this is significant support, okay? So if this gets broken, well, you're going to fucking 1140 for sure. You're probably going down here to test $10. If this there's no way, man. There's no way, dude. I don't believe it. I honestly don't. I'd just be shocked. I'd be shocked. I would be flabbergasted if that happened. But anything is possible. All right, somebody said Doge is about to run. I'll look at Doge right quick because I know a lot of you guys like Doge. I like Doge. Let's take a look. Take a look. See. Where's the good chart at? Where's Bay? Where's my Bay chart? Is it Bitfinex? It can't be. It's Bittrex. I mean, this shit kind of ass though. Doge is about to run. Somebody said. Not me. Oh, look, it's... Dude, this fucking... I fucking hate... I hate the fractalized reality that I'm now living in. If Cheeto's in here, I hope Cheeto's in here. He's got this Cheeto Shane. Go look him up. Cheeto Shane AMC on Twitter. I just like search Cheeto Shane. I don't know what exact is. Why is Dave Marino so bearish? He has this thing where he's like, oh shit, I took the red and the blue pill and now I'm in an endless repetitive algorithm or whatever. That's how I feel now. Like, this whole AMC experience has fucking ruined everything for me. Like, I'm just like, oh god, I'm so sick. So sick of these algorithms. Like, I always knew algorithms were a thing, okay? Don't think that I didn't know that. But what I'm saying is, like, to this degree, like this, the fractal thing is just, it's just too much for me, man. Like, I'm just like, are you fucking, like, what the fuck is going on with the world? Like, what is happening? Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, you know, I'm not, this is a 50-50 pattern, okay? This isn't, I'm not saying that it's going to go up because of this. Certainly a 50-50. I mean, you could curl like this. Or, you know, obviously like this. Let me look at the short term again. But what I was saying was, I was saying all that to say that, you know, this is just it. It's just what just happened. We're just doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing. Same fucking move. Which is stupid. What's my no bias on Hood? I think Hood's an interesting... shit can't go down forever. I mean, it can. It can go down forever. That is a possibility. It can do that. It can. But don't, you know. So I drew this fib. This is cool. I've never talked about this on a video before, but this is actually kind of cool. And you can do the same thing with Rivian right now as well. But if you draw your fib retracement, okay? From the top, oh fuck. From the bottom of this IPO dip to the top here, and you have the extensions on it, you can see, you can get pretty good Fibonacci levels to get a better understanding. Because the thing about trading is, like, with levels are so important, right? But if you don't, you don't have levels until you have levels, right? Because this is a new stock. But you can see here that Composite Man, he leaves a little, you know, a little something for you to look at. You can see that as it approaches these zones, it really wants to fuck around at them, you know? And this was the 1618. So I was like, you know what? It might actually finally turn around here. But it didn't. So I'd say you probably, you know, it could turn around before this, but it'll probably do something like, you know, get real close to this before it does turn around. But if it goes here and then it comes up and tests it like you saw here and it fails, oh god, $10. And dude, this is worse. This is way worse than not to say, like, you know, I'm just saying this is way worse than AMC. This is brutal. $85. And now it's lower than it's high. It was higher and it's lower than AMC ever was. Jeez, dude. Yikes, man. Ouch. 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 If you bought shares up there. God. But yeah, so you can do reverse. Yeah, I do think that Hood, I mean, anything can happen. It can go to zero. It can. I don't know if it's a likelihood. I think it would probably be relatively unlikely for that to happen at this point with a company that's as recognized as Robinhood is. You know, just their level of popularity alone, it kind of makes that difficult for me to picture. You know, just because everybody knows who they are, but that has happened before. So, go look at Bear Stearns' chart. You know, everybody knew what Bear Stearns was, and then it just went to zero. So. Definitely can happen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is really, really, you know, it's gotten sold a lot. This is a lot of selling, guys. This is like, you know, it's pretty. Oh, look at this. You have a little divergence, but you had it back here. It didn't help you very much, did it? But you have some bullish divergence here. What is this from? This is, yeah, I mean, you're pretty divergent on the daily. Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. This is a tough chart, man. Jeez, dude. Feel bad for people who are holding this. I'm sure a lot of retail was out probably up here. I can't believe that they're still trying to. If there's no way they're still shaking retail out here. I think they're just causing selling against themselves and just to get cheaper prices. There's no way. Rivian, pretty much, yeah. So look, I'll show you that on Rivian too. The fib thing, pretty cool. Yeah, wasn't Rivian like the #2 car manufacturer? Like the second most valuable or some crazy shit at one point with its IPO. So yeah, if you measure right bottom to top, boom. So you're sitting at a 1.414. So this isn't as bad as Hood. But if you can't hold support here, you're probably gonna see 64. If you can't, and see when you break that 618, that's when it gets really disgusting because you get this big giant gap and you can get sent to fucking golly. Yeah. So. Yep. Bro, they selling everything to Ford? Oh. Retail? F retail? F. Oh, they're selling everything to F retail. Yeah, always. I get what you're saying. Oh, dude. And then, okay, Volkswagen, and then we're done. Let me show you Volkswagen. For those of you who have been here the whole time and you were watching the, you were watching me do the, Wyckoff analysis on GME, you know? Okay, so we don't have as much data here from a volume perspective, you can see. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. You see this? Let me put it on a weekly. Maybe you can. Maybe 3-day. 3-day will probably. Does this look familiar to you? Look. I mean, look here. Way back here, right? Sell climax. Automatic reaction. Well, sell climax, automatic reaction. Sell test, maybe. Sell test in phase B. Spring test. Sign of strength, backup LPS. Sign of strength, backup LPS. Boom, send it. Crazy run. Okay. Now that was like 04, 05, 06, and then it goes into this rally in 07, right? So then look at this. Not as detailed because there's not as much volume, so I can't go to like the daily chart, and this was kind of like a shorter term move right here. But look, boom, you crater down for a few months, sell climax, automatic reaction, sell test, spring test, sign of strength. You come back, sign of strength above the trading range right here, right? Because look, people always say, look at the Volkswagen squeeze. There's no technicals. No technicals could have predicted the Volkswagen squeeze. And I'm like, I don't. I think somebody knew. You know, markup, boom. Right? Volkswagen goes absolutely bananas. This was November 2008. You guys want to take a closer look? Let's see if it has a GME type distribution up here. That would be something, wouldn't it? I don't know if I'm going to have the fucking data to do this. Not enough volume, I think. They just started reporting more volume whenever that happened. Okay. Pretty weird. I do have to get off in a second, but hold on. Oh, dude. Come on, composite, man. Let me look at the chart. Per hour. I will look. Okay, there you go. Oh, dude. Composite, man. That's childish. Come on, dude. Okay, 6 hour. Composite man, did you block out this part of the chart? You scandalous. Come on, dude. I thought we were friends. All right. Well, yeah, it's it's kind of missing the context, but I thought we were friends. Composite man, you little shit. Yeah, but I'd imagine. Look, I can show you kind of here. I can see it already, kind of. So this would be like your like PSY. Then like this would be like your buying climax. This is like a sign of weakness. It's not as clean, but it's just because I don't have the data. It's just too old. This is like probably a UTAD sort of scenario. I mean, the volume's pretty high here, so it's probably more like up thrust in phase B. Anyway, I mean, it's pretty Wyckoffean, And then look, the institutions, they get rid of their shit. That's what they do. They kind of drag it out, sell it at the higher price until they can dump it. But definitely accumulation. 100% accumulation, in my opinion. This is no fucking doubt to me. Accumulation. I have extreme difficulty trying to explain that this right here. Look, this too. Like, this is accumulation followed by reaccumulation. You have your sign of strength above the trading range. Boom, you come back and test. Boom, you get sent up. This is Wyckoff. 100%, my opinion. I'm still here. All right, guys, I'm going to cut out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Had a good time. I had a good time with you guys. I appreciate the positivity. I wasn't watching chat too much, so maybe, I missed a lot of toxicity. Or maybe the mods were just on point, or maybe they weren't, and like this has been a completely toxic stream. But every time I look at chat, it seems like it's pretty well behaved. Dan, rewatch the stream. I literally cover everything the first 30 minutes of the stream, man. When I cut off, go check it out. Not because I don't want to explain it, but I've done that. I've responded to a similar comment like 5 times now, so I just don't want to do it again. If I'm sure you understand. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks to the 240 people who liked the stream, to the other like 500 that didn't, And I know right now I got 260 viewers, but over the course of this. Thanks, Astro. I'm not Astro. Thank you, Shaka. Thanks, Joe. Jose, appreciate you, dude. Thank you, man. No, you're good, Dan. Yeah, dude, I understand. You just gotta understand. Like, I just don't want to keep doing it. I really want to for you, but if I do it, then I'm kind of setting the precedent that I just am gonna just keep doing it. All right, Rose, appreciate you, Rose. You hung out here the whole time. I'm scrolling through chat. Sorry, I didn't get to all the questions and all that. It's just a lot. Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, look, Super Steven asks, Dave, is MOAS off the table? Yes or no? It's okay to say yes. Don't be afraid to say it. I believe one more bull run, but no more MOAS. I don't. That's why I've never really shared my opinion on MOAS, because it's difficult to. That's just not something that I am gonna have the skill. That's not what my skill set is. Like I'm not that person. I believe in AMC's narrative, and I believe that AMC will have its day in the sun again. I don't think that you never see 3-digit AMC in the next year. Like I am very convinced that that's going to happen. But that's just me personally, and everybody's going to make their own personal decision. But I'm not basing my investment off of like a 4, 5, 6-digit AMC. If it happens, great, I'll be there, but I also am not gonna like base my life on it. Eric, DC5, shill. Yeah, I know. I knew somebody would say that, but I just, I'm just kind of chilling. Kind of, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hopefully, you guys didn't take today too hard. And remember, look, when it comes to situations like this, like I talked about before, just always think about your family and you first. Think about you and your family first. Okay? Don't think about what people on Twitter or YouTube or whatever are going to think about you. Just think about you and your family first. That's it. I'm not telling you to sell or buy or anything. I'm just saying always protect what's important to you. LOL, someone just called in the Kramer and went through all the AMC pertinent info and facts really quick, and Kramer blew it right off and went to the next caller. Yeah. Uh-huh. Basically said anything with debt is going good now. Yeah. It's not that long of a stream, Eddie. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, God, family, country. Yeah, whatever, I'm just saying, man, like, because I know that right now it's a lot of people are in a tough spot, man. And that's why I've preached from the beginning, don't do things for people on the internet. Don't do anything to prove shit to apes or whatever, because that's the internet. It's not real life. Always make sure that you're okay with all the possibilities. And that's going to make their life so much simpler, man, because again, these people on the internet, they can be wrong. They can. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying they can. Grizzly, I was just saying that somebody else said God, family. Hopefully you're joking. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for not being toxic in the chat today. I definitely was expecting hell to come out and chat, but yeah, I think you guys, it was pretty chill. So, all right, y'all take it easy.